Neil, we're now going to celebrate your career with some quick fire questions just for the final 15 minutes of the show. You've had an incredible career in rugby. You're a serial winner with Leicester and England, including a World Cup in 2003. But before we get on to the World Cup final and the celebrations, I want to talk to you about the Six Nations campaign earlier that year. So both yourselves and Ireland were going for the Grand Slam in the last game of the tournament in Lansdowne Road. Talk me through the red carpet controversy.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked me this because it'd be good to get the message out there. I've said it many times and it's always asked. We were not told of this protocol before kickoff. So Jono, who was the captain that day, tossed the coin and selected whether to kick off or the direction we were going to play. We went out and warmed up on that side of the pitch, as you would, the direction you're going to play when the game starts. So when we went out for the national anthems, we stood at the side we were playing from. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Irish team come out and were sort of fazed by where we were standing. And I think a groundsman or an official was asking us politely to move, and we were confused, is the honest answer. But we're not going to, at that point, if we'd have moved, it would have been like conceding ground.
So just to jump in though, did the Irish official, did they explain to you why they wanted you to move so that the Irish president wouldn't have to cross over on the grass? Like, was that like, would you have moved if you were told that, or
the bloke that Becky thought was the groundsman was the actual Irish president?
No, it wasn't, because
it wasn't, because she was a female.
Was a lady. So don't
Mary McAleese.
Ladies can be grounds ladies.
No.
You said grounds man.
Well,
no. So okay, so listen to me.
This bloody-minded English belligerence perceived as arrogance is what I inherited as an English player because of teams like Becky's.
No. Listen,
I think it's good.
I can rest in my bed. Look, you're not going to go out and like elect the captains go together. They elect who's going to kick off, who's going to play which way, and that's the way you warm up. So when you go out, that's the way you line up for the national anthem. In every test match I've ever played in, that's what you do. So that was not briefed to us at any point before the game. So minutes before the kickoff, before the national anthems are going to be played, when someone comes out and says move, the first thought was, why? This is the way we're playing. This is the way we always do it. What are you on about? So with that noise, no. We wasn't told. I was near to Jono, and Jono was looking down confused, and I said, we're not moving, because I knew what a mental edge that could have given our opponents. So it was no disrespect to
Mary McAleese, the president.
100%, not at all. It was, again, it would have been, we'd have like tailed off then and let Ireland stand where we were going, and then we'd have had to swap over. It'd have been like a merry-go-round. So we stood our ground. It was the right thing to do. There was no disrespect intended. We should have been briefed before, and then we'd have gone to stand where we were supposed to stand. We weren't aware of it. 100%. That's how it happened.
No, that's fair enough. We're going to move on to I'm assuming maybe one of the greatest nights of your life with the World Cup final in Sydney. So can you talk me through the celebrations that night?
Could you tell us
the
about
overriding feeling that after winning that was the relief that all the sort of sacrifice and effort was all worthwhile, not by the players, all the staff, everyone. And to be honest with you, we didn't get out to celebrate until probably 2 or 3 hours after the kickoff, because you get changed, like the backs have to do their hair, do their makeup, have a few drinks, everyone wants to come in and have a picture with the trophy, all the officials, etc., etc. Then you've got to go and do your press. So literally, all you want to do is get out, have a few beers with the boys, meet your family that travelled over there, etc., etc. So I didn't get out. We all didn't get out to the after event till about 12:30, so after midnight.
Oh, was there an event put on, was there?
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Oh.
And that went Oriental. So it was, yeah, a good old knees up. My wife was over there with our 2 kids. Olivia joined me on the podium. She was 4 then, now 21, shows how long ago it was.
Yeah.
But my son was there with 14 months, and he wouldn't come on the pitch with me because he didn't know who I was, because I'd been away for half his life. So, but she sort of left to go to get ready for her plane journey back. I think she flew back at 11 that following morning, but then we went on it for 24 hours and had a good sort of knees up. And everyone was brilliant. Everyone looked after us. The Australian fans were superb. And we had a good night and a deserved few beers.
Well, no, also, I suppose after that, coming home from the World Cup, you had the honour of going to meet the Queen. But I heard that there were maybe some mishaps on the bus on the way to the palace. So can you take us through what happened on that journey?
I mean, you guys will all know when you're in somewhere, you can't really get out to celebrate with your family and friends and the supporters as you want to. I mean, the first time we knew really it impacted us was when we got back to Heathrow the following morning, on the Tuesday morning. We'd been drinking all night, and then we were met by 25,000 people at Heathrow Airport. But 2 weeks later after that, we had the open top bus tour. We had a visit to 10 Downing Street and to Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen. So lots of things happened over there. Depends how long you've got, but on the bus there was one particular incident that happened. There was 2 buses. The manager were on one bus, all the players were on another. And halfway round, if you remember the footage, we were in light grey suits, which were our summer suits. Clive didn't want anyone to wear gloves, hats, coats. He wanted us to look the part, but it was December, so it's freezing. Lots of beer on there, lots of champagne on there. Jason Leonard worked his way through a whole crate of beer, as he normally does. And he wanted to go to the toilet halfway around. So he went downstairs, but the toilet on the bus was locked. So he come back upstairs. And Jason come to me and said, "No, I need to go to the toilet." I said, "Don't worry, Jace. We'll just form a huddle round you, because there was cameras everywhere. We'll form a huddle round you. Just go to the toilet." So he picked a champagne bottle to pee into, of all things, right? Which was ridiculous, because a champagne bottle is like that, isn't it? So we're all around him. As it begins to flow, we all step back, and obviously Jason goes, and it goes everywhere, but mainly over Lewis Moody's trousers.
No.
Right, so he had a light grey suit on. Jason was pissed and hot, dehydrated massively. So he had a nice yellow stain on his suit, and we were on the way to see the Queen at Buckingham Palace. Anyway, I was always there for Lewis as a young lad at Leicester. So I said, "Look, ask Johnny, he'll have his hairdryer." He asked Johnny, but Johnny didn't have his hairdryer with him. So instead, he put his leg over the edge of the bus. You can see video footage. He's putting his leg over the side of the bus. Clive's going mad. "What are you doing? Trying to jump off the bus?" "No, I'm drying my leg out." So he retells the story. Anyway, when we get to Buckingham Palace, it started to dry. There's still a deep yellow sort of outline to wait and see. But he was all right. Anyway, we go in to see the Queen. We're given the protocol, how to greet the Queen, etc., etc. We're lined up in a horseshoe, waiting for her to come in. The doors open, and corgis precede the Queen. So they rush into the room. There's about 12 of them, and they all rush in, have a sniff, 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 and they're all over Lewis Moody because they can smell the piss on his leg. And they weigh up his leg. As the Queen comes in, she's clutching her bag and she says, Lewis is saying, what shall I do? What shall I do? Kick the balls, the Queen says. So he doesn't need to be told twice. So he kicks the dog across the room, literally. I thought he'd be shot instantly. And she said to him when she come round, I meant their balls. Like she had balls with her in a bag. Kick those balls. So it wasn't a great. It was great to be there. It was great to family and friends to be in there to meet the Queen. It was a sort of honour to do that.